Thai boxing fans, I wanna say big thank you for your support before the fight and after the fight. I rested. Right now I'm feeling good with my health, everything okay, and I'm feeling good. Just need to get a rest, couple months from the boxing, and with a new mood, new motivation, I will back as soon as possible to the fight, and will be continue to be the champion again. Thank you for everything, for your support, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So as we just seen from Sergey Kovalev, he's assuring his fans that he is just fine. This is the second social media vid that he did, that he's putting out there, that he's just fine. The first one he did from the hospital. And according to Sergey Kovalev, he's going to take a little time off, and he's not calling it a career yet. He's not retiring yet, and he's going to come back to the sport of boxing and pick up where he left off and try to get back to a title. Now, looking at the news headlines, they're saying that basically HBO doesn't know which way things are going to go right now, because they thought that Sergey Kovalev would defeat Alverez, and that on December 8th that they were going to get a unification fight between Kovalev and Dmitry Bivol. Well, given that Kovalev lost, everything changes now. But listening to Kathy Duva of Main Events, the promoter of Sergey Kovalev, and also kind of looking at the excerpts they got from Kovalev, it looks like they might be moving in a direction of a rematch with Alverez. Now, from their first fight, they had a rematch clause. And that was the lifeline that Sergey Kovalev gave himself, because everybody was saying after that last loss that Sergey Kovalev can be possibly done. Giving himself a rematch clause, well, that keeps him alive for another fight. And if he can gain back that title, well, his career can go forward. You know what I'm saying? But the question is, yo, is it too soon? You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Sergey Kovalev lost to Andre Ward in the first fight, and though it was a razor-thin fight, some even say that Kovalev won, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? That in the second fight, Andre Ward beat Kovalev the second time worse than he beat him in the first fight. And some say then that Sergey Kovalev came back a little too fast. He should have took a little time off, maybe even a touch or two, and then maybe try to get it in there with Ward. But the thing is, I guess the thing is, from Kovalev's and his corner's point of view, is that, you know, titles change hands all the time, meaning that if they let this Alverez fight just linger out there, though they may have a rematch clause or whatever, what if Alvarez goes and take a unification fight with Dmitry Bivol and he loses that title? Then what Sergey Kovalev going to fight a titleless, you know, a beltless Alvarez? You know what I mean? And also, you got to look at it like this, man. Alverez, along with Dmitry Bivol and Bev and a few other, you know, all basically the top names, a lot of the top names at that weight class at 175, they all fight for a promoter named Yvon Michel. And Yvon Michel, you know, maybe he want to keep that title in-house. If Kathy Duva in Main Events don't make an effort or an attempt to get that title back now, who knows if they'll get it back? You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reason for the immediate rematch. Now, but from an in-ring standpoint, is Kovalev's punch resistance going to be worse than it was in that fight? You know what I mean? And the other golden question is, has Kovalev learned a lesson? Because the general consensus is that Kovalev is a Mr. Know-it-all. He wants to know everything. You remember in the first video that he let out right after the fight, in which he was at the hospital because he got his block knocked off, you know what I mean? The first video that he released, he stated that, yo, it was a training camp. Like, he overtrained and he had a long training camp and he was tired and yada, yada, yada. Still making excuses, you know what I mean? So no one wants to hear that crap from Kovalev. So the question is, has Kovalev gotten past the thing that's been possibly holding him back? And that's his mental fortitude, you know what I mean? Andre Ward exposed it. And Alverez basically, you know, showed it. You know, whenever you stand up to Sergey Kovalev, take the best that he got to offer, he becomes uncreative. He becomes tired. He becomes ordinary. You know what I mean? The special leaves Sergey Kovalev once he figures, oh, I can't hurt this guy. Everything that I did ain't working. So what else I do now? You know what I'm saying? So let's see if Sergey Kovalev even took a lesson from that fight. I hope he did. Clearly, he didn't learn much from Ward, or maybe he did, because I do recall him saying after he lost to Ward, he loved to train with Virgil Hunter. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's something he should have honestly took up. He should have actually got with Virgil right after the Ward losses, and maybe Virgil could have taught him a thing or two, you know? But anyway, you know, and I'm hoping Sergey Kovalev has learned his lesson from that fight, and he's gotten, you know, stronger mentally from that fight. Some people gain a lot in defeat, and I'm hoping that's the same situation with Sergey Kovalev, because if not, if he comes back still making excuses, remember from the Ward fight, it was John David Jackson's fault. Then he got rid of John David Jackson and he lost worse. You know what I mean? Like, he always comes out with all of these crappy excuses and just nobody want to hear. So we want to see Sergey Kovalev owning up to the fact that, yo, he lost. He lost fair and square. Elian Alverez was just a better man that night. And, yo, I'll get him in the rematch. That would be just a more better response from Sergey Kovalev. But whatever the case may be, I'm not the one, or you're not the one that's going to be able to sit here and tell Sergey Kovalev whether to rematch this guy or not. He should know for himself. And he should also know that everything is riding on that fight. So we'll see which way they go, man. Sergey Kovalev is going to take some time off and then possibly look to come back to that rematch. And maybe the reason he's doing it so fast is because he's afraid that title is going to go bye-bye. But we'll see. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. You know, I've always said, and I'll continue to say, Sergey Kovalev's jab to the stomach was the best I've seen since Floyd. But whenever you when you weather his storm and get him deep into the fight, well, that jab to the stomach, along with everything else, becomes ordinary. Let's see if Sergey Kovalev can get past that. To the next video. Peace out.